Fans are singing along with Bryson Stott's walk-up music.
Everybody's standing here at Citizens Bank Park. Sanchez to the belt.
Breaking ball, hit in the air, center field.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Christopher Sanchez, for the first time in the big leagues, has thrown a complete game shutout.
Harper looks at Arcia again as he goes around the second base.
And it's turned into the Bryce Harper game.
The game's tied. Castellanos in the third. Dusty is waving him home. Here's the relay to the plate. There'll be no throw. Phillies lead. Breaking ball blasted. Game is tied. Castellanos for the Phillies. And it's a brand new game. And the Phillies close out the National League East. They are the champions of 2024.
Alrighty, Chasers, welcome back to a brand new edition of the Quit Chasin Show. We are a little cheeky, a little irreverent, and always unqualified. And this week, we have some friends to help us out. But for the Starsky and Hutch of the program, I'm Alex Kruger. That's Danny Gerb. Danny, say hi to the folks.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Alex. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Dano?
Yeah, I am all right. I'm actually really excited. So I think we should probably just get into it, because we have a big show tonight. I think it might be, this is what, our WrestleMania? This is our WrestleMania?
Is it the Royal Rumble or is it WrestleMania?
It might be the right.
It's a lead up to WrestleMania. WrestleMania is our Chasies.
I didn't even think of that. Could be, right? That's our SummerSlam. I was thinking the 999's our WrestleMania.
That's that's definitely our WrestleMania. That's our prestige show.
This is our Royal. Yeah, we're getting into Mania season with this. It's a big show because only us would make our big show the quarter mark of the season.
It's what people that are ahead of the curve, it's what they do. It's what they get. And I love that. By the way, did you notice that I exited the screen the second that you started the intro?
No, I didn't want.
Oh my! So I had to get a refill of my drink, and I knew that I had more than enough time because you had just started the intro to get to the kitchen, refill my beverage, and walk back here slowly.
I know it's long. It's longer than last year's. I get it. You tell me that every week. I get it. So what brings me to all right. Here's the deal.
I love busting your chops.
It's our quarter table round table.
It is our quarter table round table. Don't hate.
That's what I want to know. Like, is this a bit that I just leaned into? Or
what's that?
Can you honestly not say the quarter table round table?
It is
our quarter round table. It's turned into quarter table round table. And I don't know if you are purposely doing it and I was just like, screw it, I don't care. Or
I did it 3 times. I realized it was just going to happen. I didn't bother trying to correct it, and I just leaned into it. And it became a bit when you mentioned it, and I'm like, all right, cool. But it works. It's our quarter table round table, man. We're a quarter of the way through, and we're going to have a quarter of the way through the table, and we're going to have a round table discussion with other Philadelphia legends. And it just makes sense. It's the quarter table round table.
It's so stupid. I love it. Let's do it live, pal. Alex, let's do the week that was, right? We got a big Royal Rumble to do.
We sure do. All right, man. So first up, we have Philadelphia 0, Cleveland 6. Matty P asked me before the game who I'd put money on. It was a Nola game away after he had done a great job and we were rolling. I told him it felt like an 11-3 Phillies loss. I was off, but somehow not by that much. Philly hates the opening games of series, folks. That's why we've only swept the Rays and Rockies. But next up, it was Philadelphia 7, Cleveland 1. And that's how you even out a point differential in a hurry. Danny and I were at the Senators game, which we'll get into in a moment. In fact, we're going to get into that moment right now because I realized that was a part of the agenda I did not flip back and forth on. So Danny and I went to the Harrisburg Senators game last Saturday when Philly played that game against Cleveland to see my daughter and her class sing the national anthem. Senators ended up losing that game 4.
They were so pitchy too.
To 2. First off, they did a fantastic job.
No, they did great. They were slightly pitchy, but they did great.
You're slightly pitchy. They were good.
Like 35 of them were a little pitchy. Not your daughter. She was fabulous.
That's what I'm here for. Thank you. Now it's immortalized on the interwebs.
They did great.
They did a great job. They did a great job. And I will say, friends, Danny soft launched his Make City Island a Destination Again campaign, and we melted in the sun for an hour, but enjoyed a lovely game. And we're within spitting distance of 2 home runs hit in the 7th inning. It was a great freaking game. Danny, how would you fix City Island? Tell the fans.
There is no reason that area shouldn't be Harrisburg Beach. You know, just get the insurance, pay for the insurance, get the lifeguards, make the beach, the actual beach, a functioning beach.
Where are the paddle boats, guys? Where are the food vendors? That place could be so commercialized. It could become such a destination. You have enough months where it's really gorgeous there. You have tons of parking. You can't just have Senators games. You have to have another draw. There was a level of life to that island when we were kids. And like we were talking about, there was that the wind chimes and kites, shack. We never bought anything, but like there was ice cream stuff. Like, where have all of those opportunities gone?
Wasn't that the problem, Alex?
It was crap. Like, but you can't tell me that the right pop-up shops wouldn't want to have, like, where's the coffee shop on City Island? Okay. Like,
that's right. So here's a wild idea. Fix the walk bridge that goes to the West Shore.
Okay.
Put some bars on the island, and now you have from 2nd Street to the West Shore, just Lambertville and New Hope up here, constantly back and forth, especially on nice days. Like there's no
now that's a concept. Because they have the boat club, which is kind of their like higher-ish end bar scene outside at the mini golf place. That big white building is now like the boat deck. That's a bar. I love that idea of connecting the island to the West Shore as well as the East Shore, so that you can just kind of move back and forth between. That's a great bar crawl idea.
You don't have Nixon's head to kick around anymore. That's why I'm in charge, Alex.
I love it. But Danny, anything else that you want to? I felt like you really appreciated the stadium, or at least the stadium experience of the Senators game this time. I felt like you really dug the walk around and like just the experience of the vibe.
I always do. I like that park. I think it's a great park. We will have this conversation on some other show.
1,000 shows.
Yeah, right. We have already. Also, by the way, that is a new clubhouse that is being built. Most of the AA parks are MLB up their standards. So a lot of parks are adding new facilities and training facilities and clubhouses. That's what's going on.
Bummer. So nothing for fan usage.
No, nothing for fan usage. They're not the only one that is an MLB thing to bump up the minors.
But again, Danny, you and I have talked about this. Why in the 7 hells they have the opportunity? Why wouldn't they take the flat-assed roof of their clubhouse and turn it into a standing room only bar service area during game days?
Or any sort of add more wood, tiki bars, make the Riverview. Like, you
said perfectly. It makes no sense for it to be concrete aesthetic when it should be tiki bar and wooded, and like we're on the cabana. This is the boardwalk, which is some of the best spots.
The boardwalk, which is steel.
Which is so dumb because it's one of the most aesthetically pleasing ways to watch a minor league baseball game is on the boardwalk on City Island at FNB Field. It's so much fun. And all of the outfield seating, which in and of itself at a minor league stadium is rare. All of the outfield seating is dynamite and in great placement. So I don't know. That island has so much potential. I didn't expect us to spend 4 minutes on it, but I'm very passionate about City Island and what
I noticed.
I am. You bastard, you inspired me. You inspired me to want to make City Island great again.
That's what I'm here for.
But maybe it's time, since Chris was actually watching the Phillies game that night, that we bring him in and let him recap this game. Danny, I think it's time for us to bring in Chris the Optimist. Hey, buddy.
Still an optimist. I'm still here. Thanks for having me again, guys.
I can hear it. I can hear it all over.
Good to see you, Chris. How are you?
I'm excellent. I told Alex just before we get into the recap. I told Alex I had a little story to tell today.
I was hoping you would.
You were
It worked out that it was today of all days. So you guys know I operate a golf club in the area that I'm in. Lucky enough to meet some people and start some conversations. So one of the members of my club hosted some gentlemen today, and one of those gentlemen was your favorite and my favorite utility man, Brad Miller. So got to talk to him a whole bunch today about some random thoughts. Obviously, he's been around the league. He was around the league, multiple teams, a couple stints with us in Philadelphia.
Nice.
He loves the city. And we talked about the fan base for a while, of which we all are the passionate assholes that we are.
Damn straight.
And said, it really does take a lot of work to have the
wherewithal,
like the assholic spunk, I guess. But had nothing great things to say about the city and about his time with the team. Obviously, it was kind of the end of the down years. When he left us. So, but again, it was a great conversation, great guy.
Big fan of Bamboo and Merkins. So,
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I know.
So tell us about that game, Chris.
I read the news.
You do. Philly 7, Cleveland 1. What happened?
Yeah, let me do it in my best Alex voice. Here we go. Just a traditional ho-hum Ranger Danger start, which truly showed glimpses of his 2024 first half. Only 4 of 23 batters faced, 3 ball counts, 14 of the 23 had 3 pitch at bats or less. That's basic Ranger Danger. And just as the world's most famous White Sox fan, did a couple days prior, the Fightins finally appeared on that proverbial balcony in Progressive Field. Bryce hit his first home run in nearly a week, highlighted by a litany of small ball to beat around the Guardians' bullpen. Hernandez threw fire, and Ross skated around a couple base runners to close out the game.
Nicely done.
You got his style. Yeah, you nailed his style.
Thank you.
You really did.
Thank you.
You're really. I could just sit back and you're my AI. I love it. It's fantastic.
Optimist out.
Optimist Prime. Yes. Yes.
You're with us to the end now.
Sure are, which is great because we've got to close out this stupid series in Cleveland. Philadelphia 3, Cleveland nothing. Wheeler, Alvarado, Romano, a whole new way of breaking down WAR for sure. But it worked, and it's not a terrible fit. The Philadelphia Schwarbers did their thing and got the series win. 5th series win in a row, something they didn't do last year, in case you missed them saying that 800 times during the game. Has anyone else ever noticed they're watching a Wheeler start, and it's the 4th inning, and T-Mac goes, and there's Wheeler's first strikeout of the night. And then you look at the box score after, and he has like 8 to 10 strikeouts all day. I don't know. It's something I've been keeping an eye on. But go ahead.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I read that 100 times, and I have no idea what you're talking
I feel like there have been so many games this year that Wheeler has started. Which I guess there hasn't been that many, but so often, like, it's his second time through the order when he finally gets his first strikeout. But then by the end of the time that they pull him, he has like 8 to 10 strikeouts. But like, it takes him to the 10th batter to get the first one, and then he just starts mowing people. That's where I was going with that.
Okay.
So maybe that's me saying to the crowd, like, watch that. I feel like for some reason, Wheeler's getting better the more times he gets through an order. I don't know. Maybe. We'll find out. But after that, it was time to go to the red hot St. Louis Redbirds. The St. Louis Cardinals came in on fire, having won 8 games in a row. In that first game, well, they extended that streak to 9. St. Louis 3, Philadelphia 2. St. Louis was hot as hell right now. We played them tough. Responded when they scored 2 out of 3 times. I don't know. Seemed like a baseball game. It was a really good game, and it feels like 2 well-matched up teams, which led us to the second game. St. Louis 1, Philadelphia 2. Now, this took place after a rain delay had effectively wiped out the day before. So it was a day-night doubleheader. Rainy day still for Luzardo. Nobody scored until the 7th inning. Nobody scored after. But we didn't let the Redbirds' winning streak get to 10. Baseball was played, and we won. But coming up next to close out this series, Danny's going to tell us who else is joining our program this evening.
Yeah, so a lot happened, right? We beat the stop the Cardinals streak. There we go. I can talk. Stop the Cardinals 10-game win streak. That was good. Put an end to that. Unfortunately, Schwarber's on-base streak went down. We have a friend who graciously rehosts our show on his network, the Broken Bell Network. I have no idea why. Keith, on his show, the Hall of Fame Club. Check it out. It's a great show. They were speaking on Tuesday night about baseball. Is it just streaky? Is that what it is? And let's bring him on. Keith, man, how you been?
Gentlemen, thank you very much for having me on the Quater Table Round Table.
That's it, the Quater Table. I'm into
the Quater. And now I'm just letting you know that is what I'm reading the show notes right now. It is the Quater Table Round Table.
Yeah,
so,
that happens.
Nailed it.
That happens. I'm dyslexic.
Yeah, I don't
riddled with ADHD. If you want anything, we're not
having me, guys.
Absolutely,
no,
buddy. It was great having you on again.
You want to take it? You want to take a compliment sandwich right now?
Yes. Oh boy, that sounds half dangerous.
Here we go. Danny, you officially sent me at they were a bit pitchy.
Oh yeah, okay.
Thank you for that, sir.
Well, they were.
Alex, you have failed your duties as a father for raising a Mets fan.
No, I don't have a Mets fan child. The conductor of the students is a Mets fan.
Then you still have failed your duties for allowing your daughter to even
be taught by a Mets fan.
You know what? You know what? Her real teacher got a concussion.
So he was a Mets fan.
You know what? He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I like the guy. He's a Mets fan and a Giants fan. Well, I mean,
hey, and to close out the compliment sandwich,
sure.
Chris closed my eyes and couldn't tell it wasn't Alex.
Thank you. I love that. That's fantastic. So the only shitty advice was for me. That's great. That's fantastic.
That's
I enjoyed
the greatest.
It.
That's
one to grow on, Alex.
I've ever heard.
One to grow on.
One to something. One to something. I'll tell you. All right. So we brought you on, Keith, because you had a point. Go ahead, Dano. This is your segue.
Yeah, so we were getting into it. Alex and I have been going back and forth about the Schwarber on base streak. When is it something to be excited about and when to be excited about it? And I told him I did not care. Then listening to your show on Tuesday, you guys go on that you have I think it was you or JV might have said do people just not get that baseball is a game of streaks, good streaks and bad streaks? And I don't know. Where are you on this Schwarber thing?
So the streaks are what get you to watch 162 without losing your mind, right? There's kind of something to say, because I think if you guys are anything like me as a fan, if the Eagles lose, you're like, get them next Sunday. But you only get 17 games to get them next Sunday, where you get every day to get them the next game. But we absolutely collectively lose our freaking minds on a Phillies loss. And so I think that the streaks are kind of, it gives you like almost something else to watch during the game while you are getting frustrated. So while I don't think they're particularly important to the overall, they make for good storylines during good years.
Yeah. Or something for a really bad team to give a shit about halfway through a season. You know, it's one of those like, we can at least sell tickets right now.
Right.
I would be into that. I'm more into a floundering team being like, hey, this guy, like the rebuild. We talked about this last season, where we kind of enjoy rebuilding teams a little more than expected teams. Like there's more fun in those teams.
Because there's that element of surprise. There is no surprise left in this squad.
Right. But you're also looking for like that magic heart, like that element of like, what's the magic ingredient? You can't talk about it in Moneyball. It's almost non-quantifiable, but you know it's there.
And you need a Shane Falco. You know, miles and miles of heart. You need a Shane Falco. And I
got a Shane Falco jersey.
Oh, nice, dude, nice from the Sugar Bowl, because that was a bad game for him. Now, do you guys want to know what the streak is in the MLB history for consecutive on base?
69.
It is 86 by Teddy Ballgame. Teddy Williams. So close.
But so close.
So like Harper was barely halfway to that. When do you start giving a shit about the on? What did I say, Harper?
Yeah.
Of course I did. When do you start to give a shit about the on base streak? That's really my question, because at 45, I still didn't feel that invested in it. And like now that I know, I didn't even look it up until now, but now that I know it's 86, I feel like 80, 75. Like
he was on the heels of the team on, and I don't know what that number was or who it was.
But okay, so the team is
Howard
is that
in
hurdle.
56, Ryan Howard, perhaps.
Okay.
That might have been home runs.
All right. That may have been. So, so Keith, what number gets you, Randy, when it comes to the on-base streak?
69.
That's a great point.
It's always 69.
So, like, the number you're quoting that gets you, like, I think you have to care whether you're looking at StatCast, eras,
True.
Length of, like, you're looking at a time when there were not 32 teams and there was more movement of players around, and having that length of career to get there. Now, we obviously have guys who have longevity on teams. That's not what I'm saying. What's his name? Just hit the Guardians. He just hit his last home run against every team in the
Carlos
league.
Santana.
Thank you.
Carlos Santana.
So it's things like that, right? So, like, you do have those characters that should have those kinds of stats, but for Schwarber to do that in what, he's here 4 years now?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that long.
No, but it also feels like forever. I feel like he's been a member of this Phillies team for as long as, like, I remember this current era.
Well,
I think that's what I mean. I'm sorry. I think that's what it means. He's been here since Nola's been here. No, he hasn't.
Right. He's only been here 3-4 years, but it feels like he's been a member. Like, he did. Oh God, I love him. And I don't think we're going to re-sign him. I just don't. I think he's going to be too expensive. And I think that we're, in case no one's paid attention, we've started pulling on the purse strings. Like, there is actually an amount of money that John Middleton won't spend.
Yeah, stupid money.
You can keep him if you don't re-sign Casty and JT.
I mean, you don't sign JT, and I love Casty. I adore Casty, but here's the thing: we don't have a center fielder, so, like, you're gonna get rid of. We don't have an outfield at this. I mean, plus there's a chance with Kepler, but the rest of he's on a 1-year deal too. So if you don't. But then again, Casty's. I don't know. It's a mess. Should we get to the second game of the St. Louis Philly doubleheader?
Oh yeah, if we're still on it. Just real quick though. Speaking of Schwarber, Chris, without saying too much, did you get any info?
I may have. I'm hearing a name, and this is just spec, obviously, and where the things would fit, what would fit money wise. A name I'm hearing is Kyle Tucker, who may not re-sign an extended contract with the Cubs after this season. Younger has the bat. Obviously, his bat's alive this year. Potential first half MVP, and happens to be represented by the same representation as Kyle Schwarber.
Out of curiosity, does he also play first? Like, is he a first / outfield guy, Kyle Tucker?
He could have asked to. He could have asked to, but I think we would keep him specifically in the outfield. And there's your center fielder.
Well, honestly, you could. Okay, if I could play effed up GM, here's what you do. Okay, all right. You bring in Kyle Tucker to replace Schwarber's bat and put him in the outfield, and then you put Bryce Harper in the DH, and you get Rhys Hoskins to play first.
Oh, Jesus.
So, effed up GM. Well, you could just shorten that bit to I'm playing Ruben Amaro Jr.
How terrible would that be?
Would you like to switch to Would you like to switch to commentary next?
No.
You have to do a run at third base coach. You got to go to the American League and do some third base coaching. Yeah,
that's a good point.
But to be successful, you have to be terrible at all of those things and still land on your feet like a goddamn cat.
Every single, you know what? Nepotism, folks, it works. Okay. Say what you will. It works. We're going to the last game of this series, and the last game of the week that was St. Louis 14, Philadelphia 7. Quite the football game was played. First, I knew it was over when we gave Nola a 5-run lead in the first. Then I knew it was over when we lost the lead in the fourth. Unlike the Phillies, the Cards didn't stop scoring after the fourth. This game had 21 total runs and 17 scoring plays. Honestly, it was really enjoyable until the Cards had a 5-run lead by the 8th, and then it was just chuckle-inducing. That's all I got, guys. It was exactly what we expected. That's how our streak of series wins ends, and that is how we continue to not be able to close the door on good teams that are not named the Dodgers. It is the most frustrating thing in the entire universe. I don't care if you're the Mets, the Braves, the Cards. The Cubs were interesting, but that makes me think that they're not for real. But like we can't beat top tier talent considerably and consistently this year. Danny, I can't hear a thing out of your microphone right now, so I think something is
Absolutely not, and
Hey,
that's
buddy.
a great tease for the show. I muted it to find this bad boy.
No.
Wow, that guy has a World Series ring.
Ruben Amaro.
Two of them.
Atlanta.
He actually has two of them.
I thought, yeah,
And
right.
that is why we have a YouTube show, folks.
And then we get what we get. All right.
We get what we get. All right, folks. That brings us to our final guest. You thought that we were bringing you the same old stuff. We saved the best for last. We had to upgrade on having Chris and Steve last year. So this year we have Chris, we have Keith, and damn it all to hell, we have Steve. Steve, welcome back to the show, buddy.
Hey.
Yeah, we got a real rocker.
Certainly
Steve, how
not
are
the
ya?
best. Doing okay. It's good to be amongst such top tier talent.
We are
Absolutely.
only top tier because you're here, my friend.
Oh,
Gentlemen,
stop.
I
welcome.
don't call you names.
Oh, there he is. Welcome into the Quarter Table Round Table, the second
Yeah, let's have
annual.
some fun.
We're going to break down where we're at this point in the season. We have played a quarter of the games. We sit at 25-18 with a 581 record in the standings. The Mets are in first place. The Phillies, are behind 2.5 games. Atlanta, 6 back. Washington, 10.5 back. And then Miami, 11 back. So, having said that, Keith, I'm going to start with you. Who are your standout players this season?
I think it's cheating to say Schwarbs because I think we expect that's an expectation and he's delivering.
He's a guy that's been known to hit sub 240 home runs, so I think what he's doing this year is special.
Special, but it's in him. It's not. He's taken the lead of the team. I liked it best. Someone called them the Philadelphia Schwarbers.
Love it. When he puts them on his back, that's what they are.
Yeah, but my standout this year is actually Trey Turner, who has actually been undervalued by this fan base. I think we acted like we changed him with the standing ovation. That was something we chose to do. Whether we were going to do it or not, he was going to eventually come around because baseball is a game of streaks, and he's a good player, and he broke his streak. That being said, he's still... Man, I think this month alone, his WAR's gone up 2 points.
I can't hate on it. Steve and Chris are historical Trey Turner acolytes, so to have another one of you on this show, Danny, we're probably in the wrong. We got to do the curious case of Trey Turner here.
We'll do it.
We have to.
Hey, Keith, ask Danny how he feels about Trey Turner.
We're never in the wrong.
We're never in the wrong.
We all know how he feels about Trey.
By the way, folks, if you're watching the YouTube show, if you're just listening, sucks to be you. But I don't know if anyone else knows. Did anyone else see Chris's guns in his moment where he's put like, Chris, have you been working out, man? Holy crap!
I just do it for the tubers, man.
God
That's
damn,
right.
I love it. I love it. That's what I'm here for. All right, Chris, who are your standout players then?
Like Kate said, I think Schwarber is the commonality. He's going to be most people's choice. I mean, my opinion, you know how I feel about Schwarber. Give the guy a contract. I don't care how much he costs.
Pay the man.
You know, some may say Wheeler. You know, I told you guys, and I sent you guys some pictures. I was at the game he pitched in Tampa last week.
Yes.
Watching that man locate his fastball throughout the game 3 times through a batting order was amazing. And you know, he really doesn't need a third or fourth pitch because the fastball, he knows how to lock it in. But I'm going to go with maybe an unpopular choice, but I'm going to say Johan Rojas.
Ooh, oh my God, I love this, Chris. Go on.
I only say that, you know, we've given him a lot of shit for the last 2 years since he joined the roster. The guy can't hit. He's, you know, one of the best free-flowing center fielders we've seen in a little bit. But, you know, trending well offensively. But I'm more impressed with his base running. When he does get on base, he's running the bases with his, you know, he's being smart about it. He's also being really aggressive. And I love that for for the bottom of the order when we're trying to get runners on for Kyle to for Trey to advance the runners and for Kyle or Bryce to do what they need to do and knock guys in scoring position.
All right, so as you could tell, Danny and I are busting at the seams. I'm guessing is the base running thing, Danny?
It's the base running. So here's the thing.
He hasn't been caught napping and he hasn't been picked off as much, but he has made some dumbass decisions base running.
Also, so I get that okay, maybe some things look smart, but then it's so chaotic that he's making things happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's so dumb that he's making
it's entertainment.
Right. Is that it's smart? It's so chaotic.
Maybe. It's so smart. Dumb it's brilliant.
Is that the take?
I call them good misses, but whatever.
Yeah,
I love it.
But hey, listen,
productive out.
Would you rather? I would rather take the brilliance of his base running over watching a fly ball drop right at his feet.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I'm going to throw this out until the day I die. After what I have seen from Johan Rojas this season, he's got a better bat, he's got a better glove, and I'll take him on the base pass over any other full-time center fielder option that we have. Johan Rojas, I think, has more than proven of all. I love Brandon Marsh. I adore Brandon Marsh, the guy. I'm out on Brandon Marsh, the player, because somehow lefties they don't work for him. He is not as athletic as I need him to be in center field compared to Rojas, and I'm out on Brandon Marsh when I have Johan Rojas there. So Chris, I love that Johan Rojas is your standout player. That was a great call. I love that.
I actually have audio of Brandon Marsh jumping out in center field.
And with that, he's broken.
I love it. His bell is. All right, Steve, who you got? Who's your standout players of the year?
Yeah, so at the risk of agreeing with everyone,
man.
Yeah, I mean, there's some obvious choices, but
yeah, we're all going to say Schwarber, so that's fine.
Yeah, and I think we all kind of have to admit Trey has been nothing short of very consistent at the plate.
I don't know if we all have to admit.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
No, so will I. And
I don't think I've said anything crazy there.
No, you haven't. And the guy's pushing 4. He was over 4 at some point. Great, awesome. And I don't want to be a contract guy because I don't like those guys. It's not my money, so I don't care. But my man, if you're gonna be a slapdick single hitter who isn't stealing bases, I want that thing at a 530. That's just
okay.
Me.
All right,
that's where I'm going to disagree with you finally, Danny, because all I ever wanted out of Trey was just contact. What I wanted to give him $300 million for was to make sure
be a slapdick hitter with no glove.
That 3.5 to 4 times up to the plate out of 10, he ended up on base. And I think eventually he's going to end up in the outfield, and we won't have to worry about his glove as much. But what he is showing me, his discipline at the plate, the fact that he's not swinging out of his shoes every time, he's understanding his role. He has finally bought into his role. I'm very, very excited about what Trey can do now that he's done trying to be Mr. Home Run.
All right, gentlemen, here's the crazy thing.
Say it,
this
baby.
Is the crazy thing. My pick, Walker.
Damn it! Damn it, Steve. Damn it. I wanted to go Taiwan. I wanted to be the guy to say what he has done this. No, you picked it fair and square. Why are you picking Taiwan as your beautiful standout player?
So I think what it comes down to is we're finally seeing what he used to be. We're not even thinking about last year, although every time you hear he's coming in, I think everybody kind of you get a little nervous.
A little bit.
Yeah,
sure.
Maybe you want to close your eyes for the first batter. He's pitching well. He's throwing the ball harder than he ever has.
Getting himself in and out of jams.
He's getting guys out, And, maybe he's not a starter. That's fine. I like him better not starting.
I mean, the other night I was begging for Taiwan to come in while Aaron Nola was bleeding out on the mound. I was like, okay, it's time. Bring it. And he is a phenomenal long reliever. And I've been saying for a while now, what they should do is just have Ranger and him alternate starts, and then when the opener comes out, the other one comes in to close out the game. Danny, I see you shaking your head and saying
I just think it's so dumb.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. It's modern baseball. It's 2025. Let's find innovative new ways to win games. And
I'm fine with if you want to piggyback them, like piggyback them all day long.
Alternate the starts.
No,
alternate the starts. No way.
Done.
It is such an innovative idea for both of these guys, both Taiwan and Ranger, where you need to limit their innings pitched because of overuse and injury, but their ability to every couple of games go 8 innings, like to have both of them and to be able to flip-flop essentially the same exact pitcher. The longevity argument sells itself. I think that Ranger starts, Taiwan comes in next, or Taiwan starts, Ranger comes in next, and you flip-flop every time. It makes perfect sense. Steve, I love it. Wow, nobody. Okay, real
So
quiet.
I realistically, I see using Ranger as that, as like kind of like a 100-inning dude. You can't push him more than that. He's already proven that. So why not put him in a 3-inning long relief look? I know it's a money situation, but listen, look what you did with $18 million last year in the bullpen with Taiwan Walker. Don't tell me about money anymore. Don't tell me about Ranger wants a starting contract. Ranger, how about you stay healthy? How about we start dictating the contracts and enforcing that these guys, when they go play the World Baseball Classic, they don't burn themselves out for a 162-game season?
Doctor said,
Fair-ass point. Back out of me. I need Ranger to act more mature, just like we give the same shit for Joel Embiid, not acting more mature and responsible about his body and his knee and what he eats. Like, how about, like, he's a riskier contract, Ranger, to me, just like Joel's a riskier contract than Paul George. Ranger's durability has definitely been a big question mark, and you hate to see it, but Zach Wheeler's durability was a question mark when he was coming up for his big payday, and we're the ones that were silly enough to give him the contract, and that damn sure worked out for us. So,
are you talking Nola or Wheeler?
No, Wheeler. When we signed him,
I wasn't sure if you were being sarcastic, because
No.
same thing, payday for Nola came up, and now we look stupid.
I don't think we do. No, he was the best free agent pitcher on the market that year, and we needed to lock in another free agent pitcher. He's someone that could survive Philadelphia. He's someone that has absolutely earned his place. I have no problem with the amount of money and the length of the contract we gave Aaron Nola. He earned it. He earned it. I'm Nola's ours. God damn it. And if I would have had to see him in a Braves jersey, I would have revolted and burned something to the ground. Nola is ours.
At least you admitted it. He's homegrown, and that's why you paid him. Okay.
Damn right.
Homegrown.
And you know what? There's hometown discounts and hometown bonuses. He got a bonus. He earned it. He was with us through the shit times.
If you're to say you have 4 or 5 years of a 200-inning guy who's going to give you an ER like 4 something,
and like 200 strikeouts,
an ER 200, I'll take it. Like, he's no longer the conversation of like the Wheeler Nola 1-1A thing is long gone.
For sure. He's honestly third after maybe a Sanchez in 2.
Yeah, but if I will take it. I will take any eater with an ERA of 4 in the rotation now. Like, yeah, cool. Cool. Which brings me to my guy, which is Luzardo, which I was psyched about. You knew I was going to go Luzardo because I've been pro Luzardo since
I should have known. All right, I got plenty. We're good. But please, tell us about Jesus.
Well, I've always been a fan of Marlins pitching.
I tell people all the time. Danny told me you bet Marlins pitchers. You never bet against Marlins pitchers. You're right.
They're spunky little weirdos with weirdo arm slots and crazy sinks. I don't know. They're weird. It's a weird pitching staff. I've always enjoyed Marlins pitching for some weird reason. So I was very stoked when I heard about it. And he lived up to it. He's a solid 3. He extends that rotation with Painter on the way, with Walker. It doesn't matter if Walker is a shitty 6. We have that shitty 6. Like,
damn right,
there's so many teams in the league that are busting their ass to find a 5, and now we're elongated to 7 at least, and this is great news. So I love him.
I adore it. Do you have a batter? because everyone's kind of picked both the batter and the pitcher.
I didn't know we had to do that.
We didn't, but it just kind of fell that way. So I was just kind of asking you if you had a batter.
Well,
only
it's
like
Schwartz. I mean, the dude's on pace to hit a bazillion home runs. So.
All right, well, that was easy. All right, so interestingly enough, since all you bastards took off,
I think he could go. I think he could. Once it warms up, man, I think he could break that Howard record.
So the fact that it's not June yet, it's only May 15th, and he's leading the league like Jesus God. So
you guys projected rate is around that Howard number. So yeah,
I want it, and so be it. Okay, so all you guys took all the worthy pitchers. So I mean, we all know Sanchez isn't a breakout player because I expect this from him. Same with Alvarado. Romano, you're just a silly bitch. So my breakout players both are from the offensive side. First off, got to give my man Bryson Stott an appropriate amount of love for coming back from the injury, and not only that, but in my opinion, owning that leadoff spot when he is in it. He has done what needs to be done. We have finally gotten what we need to do to get Kyle Schwarber away from the 1 and into the 4 so that he can protect Bryce. So like Bryson Stott breaking out because of what he has been able to do with the lineup and being able to be a leadoff guy. Does anyone want to comment that before I get to my second guy?
No, that's absolutely correct.
I had a side note, and I was going to say that too. Like, how impressed are we with his production on the leadoff spot? And I know after I was on the show, a few weeks ago, and there was a lot of questions when the season started about what's this lineup shifting going to look like and how is it going to work. Right-handed pitching. There were some pros, there were some cons, and we all said them. What do we think about having Topper move the lineup every which way based on the strategy for the day?
I want to say congratulations to Bryson Stott. We watched him grow up from daycare officially to being a ball player this year. Yeah. He was told to take a seat for 1 game. Think about what you got to do. He came back. He had a game plan. He definitely worked it out with whoever he needed to. And he made it happen. Whereas Bohm took the other approach. His sour face got even even more frowny, I guess. So congratulations, Bryson Stott. You are officially a Philly in my heart forever.
Love that. I think that's a great call. Great call. All right, so that is, and it's interesting because that brings me to my next standout Philly, which is an offensive player, and I gotta give standout status to Max Kepler because I've been looking for a consistent outfielder opposite Casty, someone that I could trust that can just kind of do that thing. I've enjoyed his approach at the plate. He's got a very good approach, even if he doesn't always have the stats, etc., that you want to see. Like I'm enjoying his approach of all of the other outfield options. He's definitely better than Jake Cave, definitely better than Whit Merrifield, definitely better than some of those other jabroni. Like I'll take him over Weston Wilson every day of the week. Like of all the jabronis that we've trotted out as the third guy in our outfield, he's the best. So Max Kepler, who of all the other third guys, so take out Marsh and Rojas because they're our second guy.
No, I was
just third guys.
That face was just me thinking of the Weston Wilson comment. Yeah, like
I'll take Kepler over Weston all day. Well, you would take Weston Wilson over Max
I don't
Kepler?
know.
Wow. I don't think Weston is as consistent as Kepler. And while Kepler may not have the strength of Weston Wilson, I appreciate the consistency more than the strength. That's just that's where I stand with it.
Yeah, it's that right-handed bat thing. That's all.
Oh God, I don't care right left.
I don't either.
And you don't. You say you don't, but then here you are making the argument, Danny.
Yeah, well, that's all it is.
Danny, what player? Give me one player this time that is shit in the bed.
Your mom.
Mrs. Kruger does not.
Hey now.
Don't you talk about Miss Colleen like that.
First of all, she was an amazing guest, number one.
Thank you.
Number one. Props to her for she said that was her first podcast?
That was her first time on any kind of
has she done interview? Has she ever done anything of that nature? She was very natural in it.
She's a natural, man. She's a gem.
So it skipped a generation then. Okay, I see what happened.
It's Marsh. You got to go out there and get a center fielder. Like, I'm done with this platoon stuff. The fact that, and we said it jokingly as Bozo Radio Show, like the fact that you hadn't had a center fielder since Herrera, and we said it kind of jokingly, but it was kind of true. Like, I'm done with this.
Shane Victorino.
Was at least a center fielder.
Herrera was after Victorino.
He was. He was like the last competent center fielder.
Oh, no, I'm saying you haven't had a competent center fielder since Shane Victorino.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I will respect that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Too. Yeah, I will respect that. I'm going to go Bohm. All the reasons that everyone knows if they just tune into one game. Bohm has not matured. I don't care what he does at the plate. I don't know. I'm not sold on his maturity, and I don't think he's the answer at third base. Aiden Miller, come on, buddy. Come on.
Yeah, you're making $8 million. Fix your face, bro.
Absolutely. Chris, who you got? Who's shit in the bed for you?
Well, obviously Marsh was going to be my trade bait for cash comment, but whatever.
Well,
I'm going to say Bryce Harper. His chase rate's up a lot more. You know, props to the name of the podcast.
Yes, sir.
His approach to the plate this year has just been disappointing. A lot of inconsistency. Like I said, with the chasing, you know, yeah, he's trying to be aggressive, but he's trying to be aggressive in the wrong situations. You know, he may pick it up. You know, there was a lot of talk in the preseason and spring training that this is going to be Bryce Harper's MVP year for the Phillies, but he's about as far off from an MVP candidacy as, you know, as one can be at this point of the season. So I'm hoping that he could, you know, step it up in the last 3 quarters of the season. Hopefully, you know, get to that 25 homer, knock in 90-95 for us. But, you know, there's a lot for him to check in on, especially as the schedule gets tougher and we get closer to the playoff push.
Yeah, man, I really hope Bryce can really bounce back with 120 games left to go. Jesus.
Either way, I don't know. There is something off with the body language. I'm wondering if he's hurt, if there's some nagging injury that he's not reporting, which I know would be so out of character for the Phillies.
He's got the Boomsies.
He's just shit. He's got the sulkies.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay, I can allow that.
It's got the Boomsies.
So is he your? So who's yours then, Keith?
Oh, this one's a no-brainer. It's Nola. Straight up Nola.
I heard the disdain earlier. Yeah,
I did.
Not shocked.
And I'm a Nola convert actually.
So you're disappointed because you had such high hopes.
Well, because I drank the Kool-Aid that he's a good pitcher.
He is.
So I know, right? I do know that. I know statistically, if you look at him, he's actually one of the most consistent current pitchers in all of baseball. I'm actually not a fool about that. However, he is currently 1-7. And there's so many cold weather starts, so many rain starts, so many my guys aren't hitting for me. There's so many times you can blame all that and just realize, dude, you're just leaving everything hanging because your velo is eating shit.
Hold on, he's 1-7?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
An ERA over 6.
Yeah, he's eating. Yeah, so and so there's no way. Is there a way for him to bounce and play the statistics game? Yeah, he's got to have a Cy Young season from here on out, and it just I don't. Are we going to get some great June and July games out of him? Hell yeah.
Wow. I mean, holy crap, 52. Wow, he's really having a rough go of it, isn't he?
Yeah. And again, the excuse book has run out for me. And I know we're at the quarter round table, and I just made a joke about how can Bryce bounce back with 120 games. But we're talking about a starting pitcher who doesn't have as many opportunities to make his stats padded.
His velo was down at 91 yesterday.
Yeah, he's eating it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in 2 out of his last 4 games, he's allowed 4 walks. Jeez Louise, he is not.
His walks are up significantly. I think Crux said it right before that Mason Wynn home run yesterday in the game, didn't he?
The walks are killing him.
The walks are killing him. Hopefully this is the pitch that he can come back with. It didn't.
Well, Fransky and not LA we're talking about that too. That he understands how much the walks have been killing him, and then it comes around to score, and it's just like, geez, man, that's a great call. That's a great call, Keith. What about you, Steve? Who you got for your shit the bed?
I mean, I've got nothing to add that you guys haven't already said. I think as far as Alec and Marsh go, I mean, I think we could just move on from both of them. I think, unfortunately, both their values have gone down considerably as we play more games every day. It seems like it goes down more. Yep. And with Dope, I mean, it sucks, but yeah, you guys, there's nothing else to say about that. That last game was really tough to watch.
Amen.
I'm gonna quote my friend Numbers Guy with Alec Boehm, and he always says it, and I agree with him. If you are not getting power out of your hot corner, you at least want a plus defender, and this guy's neither. And that's really
so. What are we doing?
He just hit his second home run. Both his home runs barely went out. I mean, Rojas was beating him home runs for a while there. Rojas doesn't even play every game.
That's also true, and he's as big as my daughter, so fair.
Yeah, I just with those guys, I think maybe the ship sailed.
That's tough. All right, we're gonna play a quick game of Mad Libs before we get to the next bit. So, Steve, I'm gonna start with you. Okay, I'm gonna read the sentence, and when I get to the blank, I want you to tell me what you think. All right. So, of all the Phillies teams we've seen since 2022, this is the blank offense. Best, worst, middleist.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with inconsistent.
Love it. How about the defense? This is the blank defense.
Well, after the last couple, I'm going to say the most average.
I love that. How about the starting?
Different from indifferent. I feel like we're really even keel here on these.
That's fair. How about the starting lineup, the starting pitchers? Since 22, this is what?
That last game. Inconsistent.
All right, I dig it. And then bullpen, this is the blank bullpen since 2022.
Most improving consistently bullpen.
I dig that. I don't know. You know what? I dig that.
I feel better about it with each game.
I love that, actually. That's a fantastic point because I was going to say worst, but you're Chris. I think someone's coming after your optimistic.
I think 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, even definitely the worst. Now they're
climbing. I like it. I like it, Steve. Nicely done. Keith, we're going to play with you now. This is the blank offense.
Streakiest
offense since 2022. Nice. The blank defense.
Blandest.
Ooh, the blank starting squad.
Consistent.
Okay. The blank bullpen.
I have this one at confusing.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice. Chris, you're up. This is the blank offense.
Rhythmic.
Okay. The blank defense.
Beige.
Ooh. The blank starting squad.
Imbalanced.
And the blank bullpen.
Frustrating.
Love it. Danny, I'm going to go before you because I want you to close this out. Of all the Phillies teams we've seen since 2022, this is the most tempered offense. This is the most consistent defense. This is the most living up to expectancy starting squad. And this is the most frustrating bullpen. Danny, last up. This is the blank offense.
Incomplete.
Ooh, the blank defense.
Also incomplete.
The blank starting squad.
I'm fine. It's a fine. Actually, it's a fine one.
The blank bullpen.
Shakiest.
Okay. I love it. Guys, way to nail that project. Way to execute that dynamically. That was fantastic. All right. Danny, starting with you. Give me an out on the limb take for the rest of this season. What's your out on the limb take?
All right. Last season, he had day game on his glove. This season, he's going to have painter game on this glove. Stubby goes where painter goes. I think he comes up with painter.
When painter is elevated, so is Stubby. I love it.
Yeah, I think he is his guy, his
forever, his mentor, his
Crash Davis,
his sensei.
Nick Lelouch, yeah.
Yep. What do you got, Chris?
I just want to give a side note since you brought up Stubby. Did anyone see the score of the Iron Pigs game last night?
No.
No, what was
anyone? We won
Yeah, I
eight.
think I did.
Iron Pigs won 18-8 in
Nice.
10 innings. In 10 innings with a 10-run 10th inning. Okay,
That's the Lehigh Valleyest thing I've ever heard.
it's the Lehigh Valleyest thing you've ever heard. Garrett Stubbs this season down in AAA is batting .303 with 4 homers and 25 ribbies. So
course
if he
he
comes
is.
up, that's great. That's phenomenal.
And you know what?
Okay.
Let's bring him up when we need that jolt the most, when we need that guy back in the clubhouse in September. That's a great time to do business up until September and then bring in Stubby to remind everybody how to have fun.
Because let me tell you, Marshawn's not doing what we did. What we thought he was going to do offensively.
He's not filling the void
It was
anymore than
that-
Stubby did.
Last Friday game against Cleveland for me, what was it? The bottom of the eighth, bases loaded. When Rojas forces that walk to load up the bases, the lineup should be turned over by then, and then you have a feeble at-bat by a Marchand who was under sub 100. He's calling not the best games at the moment.
Yeah. He's not
Stubbs,
calling good games.
That's when I changed on Stubbs. I thought he was an aux cable guy, but he handled a pitching staff. He's mentoring Painter. Bring him up with Painter. Put Painter game on the glove. That's when you see him. I'm fine with it.
Well, then he's better on the bases as well.
Right? There is that too.
Unfortunately.
There is that too. Stubby is a hell of a monster on the base. I love it. All right. So my player or my out on a limb take for the rest of the season, I think we're going to go through the trade deadline and Dave Dombrowski will not make a major move. I think he is going to do the thing that we are all absolutely terrified he's going to do, and he is not going to move a goddamn thing at the trade deadline, and we're just going to finish the season with what we have in our system. Chris, what's your out on a limb take?
My out on the limb take is way out on the limb, and that's that Taiwan Walker is going to be an alternative closer by the end of the season.
That is what I call a blue-collared out on a limb take. That was fantastic. I love it. I hate it, but I love it too.
Oh, Ryan Kirkering sure ain't going to do the job. So
I don't know
We
how
can't
much-
rely on Alvarado all season.
I think Kirkering has a phantom IL coming up real soon. Real soon. All right, Steve-O, what's your out on a limb take for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't super prepared for this.
That's okay. We love you
That's what we
anyways.
want.
That is
That's
true.
how we play it.
Yeah, good. I mean, I could go out on a limb right now and
Do it.
being spontaneous. I'm thinking we get some sort of horrific injury, and as a result of not making trades, like maybe it happens later in the season, and we're just SOL. We just can't plug the hole.
So you're saying early exit to Hope to end the season in I don't know, mid
It's a
to late
polite and
August.
professional way of
No, I like it.
communicating
I like
what I was
it.
trying to say.
Okay.
Let's
I-
knock on wood and hope that doesn't.
No,
happen.
for sure. And I love someone has to say it's okay to put it out there in theory. Chris, bring it or not Chris, Keith, the other
All night long, baby.
All
You've been
night
doing
long.
it all night.
I'm gonna try. Bring us in. You got last. What is your out on a limb take this season?
Danny, thank you.
Anytime.
So, son of a bitch. You guys are so negative with it, and
We are Philadelphians at times. It's true.
I don't like it, and I have this one. I say Nola finishes with an under a 4.0 ERA.
You're all
love it. Yes.
Let's do it.
I'm here for it, man. I'm absolutely here for it. Oh my God,
beast.
Keith, that's fantastic. All right, then, Keith, I'm starting with you. What is the last game of the season? So we did this last year. Is it the last game of the final season? NLDS, NLCS, World Series, and what happens? Who do we play it against? What's the last game of the season?
I say we take it in Game 5 of the World Series against the Blue Jays.
Wow.
Ooh.
All right.
All right, Steve-O, who you got?
Why do I have to be the negative one again? I mean, I want to agree with Keith.
You're not
and
the
I-
only
I
negative one, I
really-
promise.
Every year I say we're going to the World Series, but fuck. All right, I'm just gonna say it. Just like last year, we're gonna lose against the Mets.
Damn. Okay, I respect the shit out of
I
that.
didn't want to say it, but there it is.
Fuck the Mets.
Where?
Amen.
Fuck the Mets.
In what? Steve, where do we lose them?
NLDS and LCS.
Yeah, it's
Wild
going to be
card.
exactly like last year. Everything's
No.
going to go.
NLDS.
It's going to be like deja vu.
No.
Like,
All right.
did I watch this happen last year? The answer is yes.
Danny, what you got?
I have the same thing. I have Game 4 of the NLDS, and it's going to be the Mets.
Okay, Chris, I'm saving you for last because you're the optimist. I hate this, and I hate this so much, and it makes my soul cringe. But I think the Phillies are going to get bounced in the wild card by the Pirates.
Whoa!
Oh,
Whoa!
I think the Phillies are going to get bounced in the wild card by the Pirates.
Whoa!
shocking.
I'm hoping.
Hey,
if I
Alex,
put it
how
out
much
there-
how much did Matty P pay you to say that?
No, here's the thing. I'm hoping by putting it out there, I'll jinx it, perhaps. Like, let's not have that happen. But
Watch out for that first step. It's a doozy.
it is. That's what I'm going with. You want my end of the season? It's the wild card round against the Pirates.
That
Chris,
is
you're the
insane.
optimist.
You serious?
You're the optimist.
Yeah.
Bring us home.
My job for you as a friend of this podcast is to be the positive one and the most optimistic. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to agree with Steve and with Danny. We're gonna go in as a wild card because we're not going to win the division. We're going to beat the Padres in the wild card, and we're going to lose the Mets in 5 games.
Damn.
We're
All right.
we're gonna
Keith, you're
we're
the
gonna
new optimist.
we're gonna split the home and home, and then we're gonna go to Game 5 in New York, and we're gonna absolutely shit the bed.
All right.
I feel very
You
confident.
all need to stop watching then. Why bother?
I feel very confident that someone on this panel is correct. I don't know who. I don't know
I
where.
hope it's Keith.
I hope it's Keith. We all hope it's Keith.
I really hope it's not Alex.
I hope it's not. Are you kidding me? If we got bounced by the damned piss rats, I could never ever look myself in the eyes again. So, God, I hope not. Gentlemen,
Can I remind you, you are still rooting for the 5th best team in baseball?
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Philadelphia Phillies?
absolutely.
All right, guys, let's act like it. Let's do this.
Oh yeah, just wait. If that's just I got an amped up. That is Bozo radio show for sure.
I can't wait because I thought it was something completely different. Folks, that is a perfect time for us to.
That's
what?
right. No,
What?
you're right. No,
All
no,
right.
no, I'm wrong.
Folks,
Everything
that is
changed.
a perfect time for us to go ahead and hit the loo, refill our beverages, take an ad break, and we're coming back with a Choose a Bit segment.
Yes. No, actually, let's just do this real quick before we hit the ad because we killed the whole segment, but I need to know because it's been a bit. Plus or minus Kepler.
Oh, my God. All right.
That's
Danny.
all. We're not doing it all.
All right. Keith, plus or minus Kepler.
Plus.
Steve.
Plus.
Chris.
Plus,
I'm a plus.
I'm a plus 2. There you go. It's
The
Max
official
Kepler.
stance
Who knew?
of the Quit Chasin podcast and friends. It's a plus on Kepler. Hey, SpongeBob, check out my new shirt.
Patrick, is that a heavy metal unicorn?
Uh-huh.
I want one.
Well then, click the link in the episode description to go to the Quit Chasin merchandise store and get one.
Absolutely. Wait, what's a quit chasing?
Huh, even I know what Quit Chasin is.
Well, what is it, Squidward?
Just look up Quit Chasin Podcast on social media. I've got customers lining up.
Did somebody say quit chasing?
Wow, Mr. Krabs, you have a Quit Chasing coffee mug, hoodie, t-shirt, and is that a shirt for Gary? Meow.
It sure is. The prices are so low, I feel like I'm getting it for free. And you know how I love to keep on to me monies.
Come on, Patrick, let's visit the Quit Chasing store. Well, hey there, Chase Nation. Alex Kruger here. As our friends from Bikini Bottom go shopping, don't forget to email us at quitchasingpodcast@gmail.com if you want to share feedback or maybe even if you have an idea for an episode of Quit Chasing After Dark. Send it on over. And now, back to the show.
That's amazing. I enjoyed that so much, Danny. Way to surprise the living hell out of me. That was amazing. I love that I can't hear Danny at all. Can anyone else hear Danny?
Well, we have them on, and I did change it. Thank you. Yeah, I muted so you don't hear my powerful streams.
I do hear your powerful streams now. There is something rushing in the background. That's
yeah,
okay.
that's Steve. That's been Steve. We love you. I didn't want to bring it to
wanna call
anyone's
it out.
attention. Yeah, but since you did, I'll just tell you who it is.
All right, fantastic. All right, folks. The
So
concept.
embarrassed.
Don't be. It's fine. We're all. I've been mocked and ridiculed throughout, and I've loved every second of it, folks.
This is my first time.
You always remember your first.
Be gentle.
Folks, tonight we wanted to bring out the bits, and we wanted everyone to kind of choose their own bit. So some of us took that seriously, and some of us decided to just play games, and that's fine, I guess. No, I'm kidding. So we're going to start off with Danny. Danny, I feel like you're a little bit amped up these days. What are you amped up about, bud?
So I'm amped up that we are bringing Amped Up back the very next week after we killed it.
Sure.
That alone has got me amped up. But like Paul Skeens, right? Like,
talk about it.
Who is he and what did he do?
Livy Dunn.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it is. So Derek Shelton outed as the Pirates manager. Don Kelly is in downtown there. But so many Livy Dunn interim manager posts were going around. And like it's Livy Dunn, right? Like
it's not even witty. It's not even like half good of an idea. Like it's just
loose association to a pitcher on the team, and she is now the face of the organization somehow. Like, I get it. She's a very cute thirst trap on Instagram. I ain't gonna hate on that at all. But like, yo, bro, come on. It's this whole grabbing everything, you know, like Livy Dunn is not a Pirate. She's not the interim manager. Just like the Pope isn't the Philly Pope. Sorry, everyone. He's not the Philly Pope. He's a White Sox fan. He's from Chicago. They got that claim. Enough with this.
We can take the Nova piece of it and have fun with that. But Kyle Pagan's been saying for years that Nova isn't a Philly school. So I guess that means that the Pope's not a Philly Pope. Just by that transitive property, by saying Villanova is not a Philly school, and the only thing tying the Pope to Philly is Villanova. Therefore, the Pope, not a Philly Pope. Is that what you were saying, Danny?
That's all. As in, Livy Dunn is also not the interim manager of the Pirates. And what's Paul Skeens do, really?
Here's the thing. So I pulled up his stats, and like they don't blow me away. He hasn't had a signature moment. Where's the 18 strikeout game? Where's the 3 games with no runs allowed?
Nasty ass whip is what it is.
Okay, great. He's got a great whip. I don't give a crap. Give me multiple seasons of him being dominant, because Strasburg did the same shit when he first came up, and then he did not consistently. He was not able to. Oh wow, that was amazing. Thank you, Steve. He did not consistently. He wasn't able to stay healthy. So show me that Skeens can stay healthy long enough to applaud him, but I feel like MLB is shoving him down our throat so much, and they only care about 2 players right now, Paul Skeens and Shohei Ohtani. Everyone else can go fuck themselves. Like the MLB does not care about anyone but those 2 guys, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an arm slot and 100 miles per hour in Livy Dunn. There, boom.
A lot of guys throw 100 these days. That's not as impressive as it was when Aroldis Chapman.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at. That's exactly what I was getting at. It's a different arm slot, 100 miles per hour, and apparently he trains silly.
Okay, and I, you know what? If he can show me consistency and durability with what he does, great. But I'm not going to crown him just because I was told to crown him. And I feel like that's what's happening in baseball right now. We've been told by Sports Illustrated, by ESPN, by everyone with a blog and with, you got to go see Paul Skeens. He's the future of baseball. I'm like, he's not doing anything any crazier than a Zach Wheeler will do, or a Crochet will do. Like those top elite level arms, he's not having signature moments. He's not giving me a reason to believe he's that guy. So I don't get it.
It's Livy Dunn.
I guess so. What about you guys? Any of our friends have any thoughts on the Skeens of it all?
I was today years old when I first heard of Livy Dunn, and I already don't like her.
There you go.
Think about Livy Dunn?
Who?
Good for you.
Yeah, right. You're better man than I am.
Good for you, brother.
I don't know. Did she pay my bills?
No.
And I don't care about Livy Dunn.
Yeah, I don't know who she is.
She is one of the first NCAA athletes that were able to monetize their name, image, and likeness through their first track videos through Instagram.
The first NIL.
It was either her or the Cavender twins. I don't know which one.
She also had the highest NIL payout in the
$4 million.
Yeah, in college.
Yeah. So she really revolutionized how to utilize your name, image, likeness from that side of things. Oh, hey, girl. So that's Livy Dunn, and so she is dating Paul Skeens, the most forced upon us baseball player at the time. So it's people have joked that this is baseball's reaction to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I think that's a little silly to compare those. It's not the same stratosphere, but that's what people are going with. I don't know. It's lazy.
I feel like Paul Skeens is trying to copy Chris's mustache.
You know what? By Chris, you mean Steve, right?
Steve's mustache.
There you go. You know what? If we all put our actual names on here, it might have helped, but that's okay.
Yes,
this is my real name. This is my real name.
Studio guest Steve. I love it. All right, Keith. Speaking of amped ups, I hear you have one.
It's embarrassing though.
That's the best part of our show. We're a little irreverent, didn't you hear?
So it may be. I'm really annoyed that Taco Bell has 18,000 menu items that consist of like 9 of the same ingredients. Yet for some reason, it takes their drive-through an inordinate amount of time, and you are always asked to pull up into a spot that doesn't exist for no one behind you and no particular reason, just for someone to run out a bag to you. Like, wow. What are you doing back there that requires, like, is there like a phone book that you have to go, oh crap, we have too much on the menu? But there's 9 items. Just throw them in the permutation that's correct, throw it into the correct cooking machine, and then just give it to me.
Were you on air in Mingo?
Well, in my defense, I didn't go. I sent my wife, and she complained about it. So I feel for her, and I'm amped up about it.
Okay, so
was it Aaron Mingo?
I told you it's really embarrassing. It's like the most Northeast Philly white boy thing to complain about. It didn't even happen to me.
Here's the thing, Keith. Here's the thing.
No, it's true.
Here's the thing. I, in central Pennsylvania, felt that the moment you said it. Chris, in southern, some part of Florida,
some part
felt that. Some part of the ball sack of America felt that as well.
You want to talk about Taco Bell? That's what we should do a love-hate about. Let me tell you something.
They got rid of the loaded potato griller and replaced it with that bullshit cheesy potato griller, and it's not the same. Bring back the sour cream, the ranch, the bacon, and the potatoes wrapped up for $1.99 a piece with a Baja Blast, so I can just enjoy my day.
The shrimp Baja Blast, you sons of a bitches, bring it back!
That's fantastic.
You guys have bold orders.
What do you get when you go to Taco Bell?
2 nacho cheese chicken chalupas and 6 soft tacos.
Holy shit. Do you guys remember 49-cent taco Sundays?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The one at Grant and the Boulevard in Philly. Yeah, man. We used to load that place up.
Dude, high school to college, we had one right on Front Street in Harrisburg. We would go easily drop $40 and get like 80 tacos between us and just gorge all night. My God, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. I loved it. All right, Chris.
There we go.
My buddy. You told me that there was a trivia time that you wanted to play, and I'm excited for it, and I'm going to lose.
Well, I'm glad Keith brought up Taco Bell, because I originally was really thinking about doing a Sheetz versus Wawa debate, because obviously, as we're all circling you on this frame right now, Alex, you would have been completely outnumbered, so I didn't feel it was fair. So I just decided to do, I was reading some fun little facts, and I just decided to let's do a Name That Philly trivia, shall we? It's open book, it's not anything too complicated. A lot of things we may have or may not have discussed already this evening. So let's start with number 1. I, as in player from first person perspective, I've hit in 23 of my last 28 games and seemingly still getting shit on by most Philly fans. And I've raised my batting average 95 points in the last month. Who am I?
That's rock hard Alec Boehmer.
I thought it was Stotsky.
I was going to go Casty.
Damn, I was going to go Turner. What's wrong with us?
Who is it, Chris?
Danny Gerb, you would be correct. You get 1 point. It is Alec Bohm.
A Bomer.
As of 30 days ago, sitting at a cool 153 batting average, and while he's still, hasn't changed his facial feature in 45 days, and has barely hit a home run out of a T-ball field, he is now batting above the 258 right now.
I guess it's time to celebrate.
Yeah. Let's pay the man.
Howdy McPowderting.
All right, what's up next, Chris?
Number two. So I've also received a lot of scrutiny this year. To pick out my 3 worst appearances this season, I have an ERA of 1.97 and have pitched 12 of 17 scoreless innings. My strike to ball ratio is phenomenal. What's that?
Ray Romano.
Ray Romano would be correct. Ray Romano would be correct. Let's talk about his last 2 weeks and not the first 3. You take out the Dodgers series, the Miami series, and he's what we're paying. He's what we're paying $7 million this year for.
I'm excited.
Mind you, on the flip side, after we didn't pay Jeff Hoffman last in free agency. In his last 6 appearances, in his last 4 appearances, he's got an ERA over 16. So we're balancing out the good and the bad. So,
and ain't that the thing about
that's
bullpen?
why we have you.
And that's key all the ways. Bringing it back to the beginning, it's a streaky game. Chris, what's next up?
Okay, this is my last one because I wanted to keep this short and sweet.
I love you for that. Way to get it.
Of the top 10 save leaders in team history, 7 of them have pitched at some point in their lifetimes. Going back, we're all around the same age, I believe. So easy question: who's the all-time leader in saves in Phillies history?
You're old enough to be my son, bro.
It's Papelboner, isn't it?
It is Papelbon.
It's Papelbones. I'm pretty sure.
Danny, any concerns?
No, this is a trap question.
I got nothing.
I think it's Papelboner.
I think they're right. I think they're right.
I hate this fact. I think it's him.
Do too.
I hate this.
Isn't it disgusting? Isn't it disgusting? It is Jonathan Papelbon with 123 saves.
Alex, I knew this. I hate the dude. I hate this stat. I hate this stat so much.
Because
Bryce Harper's best friend, man.
Oh God, you know what? Hunter Strickland and him for sure.
Yeah,
hate it.
I mean, you think about those 7 guys that I mentioned before. So Jose Mesa, who had all of his saves in
Lidge.
In the shitty area of the early 2000s, Steve Bedrosian, who spent most of his time in fucking Atlanta, is number 3, and then you go Wild Thing, Lidge, Hector Neris is number 8, I believe.
Hector,
and then Ricky Bo lines out the lifetimers at number 9. So
God love him.
Get off my lawn!
Great game of trivia, Chris, and I gotta say, Danny. There's something to having trivia when you have 3 guests so that everyone can have a shot at it. I think there's something to be said that numbers is better for trivia games.
All right. I'm noted.
Steve-O, you got yourself a hot or not.
That's right, guys. Let's talk about Bryce Harper's new haircut.
Oh, okay.
Is it hot? Is it not?
I have never hated anything more in my life. I think that when Samson cuts his dread, his hair, you take notice. The beardlessness last year was bad. This is worse somehow. This is a really bad haircut. Danny, you're going. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's absolutely hot. It gave a resurgence. There's the word. A resurgence to the Philly Monk memes. So, yeah, I'm into that.
I dig it. Chris, what do you think? Hot or not?
I don't give a shit. Just hit the ball.
Love it.
There he is.
Keith, as a man that hasn't had hair in a bit, what do you think?
Do we know that factually?
I don't know, honestly. Since I've known him, I've
thought
never
it was
known
a king
Keith
thing.
with hair.
I
feel like it's I'm going bald, so I'm just going to take matters into my own hands.
20 years ago. Yeah, I started going bald in my early 20s. I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm faking it.
I love and respect you for that. I always said, I'll go gray at 12 in a heartbeat, but if I start to go bald, I'm Cal Ripken. It's buzz for death. Yep.
It's so here's the deal. I'm with you. Just hit the ball, bro. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what your bat looks like. I don't care how you've, like I said, you've got a case of the Boemers. It must be contagious, and I'm starting to get sick of your face now.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
All the fanatic tattoos you want. Just get around the fastball. That's
get around the fastball.
Philly Monk memes are awesome.
They are fantastic. They are fantastic. All right, that's going to bring us to our last bit of the night. Let's be honest. All right, guys, this is one that I am expecting everyone to contribute to. Steve, I muted you, so when you're ready to talk, I'm going to take you. I'm going to need you. Okay, good. Let's be honest. Is it time to admit that Topper isn't the guy to lead this team to a championship? I'll start this off since I'm the one that kind of started this off. I've been admitting it from the get-go. I think Topper served the purpose for the time that he ascended the role. I don't think he has the ability to pull this squad up over the hump they're currently in. I don't know who does. There is that. He might be the best of all the options that we could think of. But like there is a certain level of fire I've never really seen the manager of this team light under them since 2022. And I don't think he's been pushing more buttons this year, and I like it, but I feel like when his back is up against the wall and when he feels like he needs to get a win, I've still seen him struggle and go back into his old habits. Leaving Nola in too long this past week was a perfect example of classic Topper, where recently he's been more willing to pull him. We had Taiwan there. We ended up going to Taiwan anyways. You should have brought Taiwan in the fifth after we were 2 runs down. Like you that was a bad deployment. And like, I don't know. Danny, you've had so many expressive. So let's be honest. Is it time for Topper isn't the guy? I'm saying yes. Topper's not the guy, but I don't know who is. What do you think, Danny?
Absolutely, I agree with you. So they're 280, 155 with him.
Right.
They're stacking series wins.
Sure.
But even with those stacked series wins, they're not sweeping series that they should be sweeping. They're missing this killer closer instinct. It got shut out in game 4 of the World Series, then was feeble after that. Couldn't close the deal against Arizona. Floundered in a Mets series the following. Like when it comes time to shut it down, to close it, kill them, step on the neck, they don't have that mentality. They're showing they don't have that mentality. They're not sweeping these series when they can. There's something about not being able to finish, not being able to close. And last night was one of the most egregious things to me.
It was
sure
bad.
The game got out of hand, but the complete concede at the bottom of the ninth with taking out Turner and Harper, pinch hitting those two is, I get it, man. You're looking for a 7-run inning. It's going to be hard to find, especially in a doubleheader. You typically split doubleheaders anyways. So you have that, but just like these dickheads played 17 and a half freaking innings, and just to concede the white flag and give it up so some guys can get a look off the bench. Like you have Harper and Turner coming up. You're looking for 7 runs and you just hand it over. And that is why they won't kill, because he does just waves the white flag. We did it last year every 5 games with Walker. It's a little bit of a different story now with that, but the same attitude, and they'll never kill it on the final game where they have to. So yeah, bounce his ass. I'm done with it.
So to all the youngins and all the people that don't remember, this is the exact feeling I remember feeling the 2011 season leading into those playoffs where we got bounced by the Cardinals. I remember thinking throughout the entire season, yes, we were winning games. Yes, we were stacking series. Yes, we won the division and we won a lot of games, but it never felt like we had that killer instinct. It never felt like we were able to just put the nail in the coffin when we needed to. We got wins that we needed to, but we did not feel like we had the killer instinct. And that's a whole lot of what this team has been like. Steve, what about you? Is it time to admit Topper isn't the guy?
Yeah, I don't know. if anyone could do anything differently. I think it's not him. I think maybe our guys are complacent. Maybe they're jaded. To me, I look at them and, yeah, maybe they all got this sour face. I don't think it's him.
I love it. I think that's fair. I do. But if he is the manager of your baseball club, is it not his responsibility to, like, is that not the responsibility of the manager of a baseball club to be in charge of the atmosphere of the clubhouse? Like, that atmosphere feels very drained, very dead, very defeated.
I feel like that's more on the veterans, you know? I think that's more role as players, every day on the field players. I think, you know, the Bucks got to stop somewhere, yes, but does it stop with him? I'm going to say no. I think let the guy keep his job.
All right, fair enough. Keith, what's your rebuttal? What do you think about that? I kind of want to go down this avenue of is the vibe of the locker room more on the manager or on the players at this point in their evolution?
All right. I don't think any of us are being super brave if we admit right now Topper isn't the guy. Like, you know what I mean? It's
for sure.
Is this like Girardi? Like, no. But what you're asking for, and I think what a lot of people are hoping to see, is like a spark, right? Some sort of emotion, some sort of anything. And Topper ain't that guy.
He's Canadian.
But hold on, we all knew that. Like,
right, but I'm not going to Canadians for my sparks. Like, love Ryan Reynolds, but I'm gonna go to Rob McElhenney for my spark.
And I'm not knocking Topper. I'm not. I think I may have touched on this and I may have joked about it. I'm being half serious. What's wrong with getting him an ATM, an anger translation manager, a bench coach, like a Boa? How about you promote what's his face's son?
Preston Mattingly.
Preston Mattingly. How about you get him into, yes, I know he's in operations, but come on, the kid knows baseball. He was a good baseball player too at some point. So, like,
I got a better one.
I'm all ears.
Bench coach, if that's the thing. John Kruk.
He's not going to do that. He does not want to travel with the team.
He does it, but if you could get Kruk out of the broadcast booth and into the dugout, the way he man. Right. I know. Well, can't he be the Ken Rosenthal then? Like, can't he just be the guy with the headset in the dugout? Can we do that?
This is why I'm actually being really serious. I know, like, it sounds like it's a bit. I know it does. Like, because Kruk is like, yes, I get it. And if Dutch was still here, you were one out for Dutch. Like, maybe that kind of guy. Someone from the 93 team, not Ruben Amaro Jr. From the 90
Victorino.
Yeah, like, Jimmy doesn't want to do it. He wants to sell weed in California.
God bless him. But where's Shane-o? What's Shane doing? Because I feel like Shane would be a great asset to this team.
I mean, this is going to be a bad joke. I don't think he's tall enough for it.
Damn. It's because you got to be able to see over that railing. Yeah, no,
I think you're going to need, like, really a stature. I'm talking about sending this guy out to go argue with an umpire and get thrown out. Like, we know Topper's not going to do it, and we're fine with it. Yeah, sorry about that, eh? It's good, eh?
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So, let's be honest. I think it's okay. We're okay now with Nick Sirianni being the cheerleader of the team manager and letting the coordinators do all the play calling. So why not let Topper be whoever he needs to be to the guys, because they surely love him. But get someone else who can throw a little bit of, like, on there and huck to it for us.
I love it. And way to stick within our branding. Chris, the optimist, still optimist. I am going to ask you, because you're the optimist, is it time to admit Topper isn't the guy?
Who's out there that could do better than him?
Amen. That's my other question is, like, what else is there?
It's not pulling a 2022 and promoting Mike Calitri because he's never managed a baseball team before.
Or Kevin Long.
Well, while the Phils were extending his contract, the Cubs are going out and getting Craig Counsell. That's who I wanted.
I did want
a
Craig
pretty
Counsell.
face.
Let me ask you this in like a devil's advocate kind of way. With this current roster in current day, if we were to say get Tito Francona.
Oh shit!
Say he didn't get hired from Cincinnati. Would he have been the guy as opposed to Topper? Because he was set up to fail because we were coming off the big World Series run in the mid '90s. The roster just wasn't good, and so he couldn't succeed. While he was our manager.
I'll tell you what. I think the guy that I might trust the most with our current team, amazingly, is John Madden. Is it John Madden? No. Who's
the dead John Madden? The dead
not
one?
the dead John. The one with the glasses.
Joe Madden.
Say again?
Madden.
Joe Madden. Thank you, Joe Madden. Joe Madden is who I would. I think he's well past his prime, but prime Joe Madden would have been fantastic with this team, with these players.
Just drummer from Good Charlotte, Joe Madden.
Listen here, I'm going to tell you that ball. I don't know much about baseball, but you got to get the bass in there. That's all I can think of John Madden doing it. I don't.
Was that your John Madden? Is that what that was?
Not at all. I can really only do a couple of voices. Mickey Mouse.
You do some good ones, though, I will say. I don't want you to run through the catalog.
You do voices.
We all have a tendency to do voices in our lives.
You do them well. Let's put it that way.
So do you. All right, lads and not lads, which is nobody. It's all of us. It's lads. We are getting into Love It, Hate It. Danny, I'm going to let you call out the Love It or Hate It because you were the one that was passionate about doing it this way for this episode. So you set it up and drop it in, baby.
Thank you. This weekend, the Philadelphia Phillies will take on the Pirates of Pittsburgh. Love it or hate it, gentlemen. The Poop Series, or the demise of the Poop Series, really.
Let's start with Chris. Love it, hate it. Poop Series / the death of the Poop Series.
I honestly don't care one way or another. It was a good in-state rivalry, but in hindsight, in the last 10 years, it's a rivalry. It's a rivalry that we should have dominated, and we're 5 games over 500 against them. And it's one of those series that we should always be winning. So who gives a shit? We've underperformed in every single series against them.
We do. Alex and I do. We give a shit very much about the Poop Series.
That's the optimist kind of angle I was hoping for. Steve, what do you got?
I like when it says poop on the TV.
It's funny. It's a good joke.
I wish it's
Thank you, Steve.
P and not,
I know.
PHL.
I know. I love the Coop series when we're playing Kentucky. Keith, how about you? Poop series, love it, hate it.
Love the Poop series so much that I 3D printed a design in my classroom. Hanging up. The kids giggle every time they walk by because they know I love the Phillies and they see poop on the wall and they go, poop on the wall.
Even better.
There's so much to unpack in that sentence that we don't have the time for today's episode, and that's why we're going to have Keith back on. Danny, I'm going to save you for last because you're the one that really wants this. I'll go my love it, hate it poop series. Love the Poop series. Hate that it's gone. Hope that it finds a way back. I'm tempted because of the Verizon ability I have. I'm tempted to check out the whatever the hell janky ass Pittsburgh sports Bollywood or whatever package that they have. I can access that. So watch the game on there to see if there's a poop on their screen just to see. I don't know. So I love the Poop series. I want it to come back. I don't know. Danny, you're last. What you got?
Good riddance to bad rubbish when it will stay alive on our show.
Damn right it will. Folks, we did it. We had the entire show, and we had it with 3 additional guests. I want to thank all of our guests for coming on. Keith, Chris, Steve, I'm going to give you guys all a moment to plug whatever you have going on. Keith, first up, how can folks find you?
Broken Bell Network on YouTube and on Facebook, the Philly Podcast. And just Google around. I don't plug many socials because you find me and that'll be that.
Bada bing, bada boom. I'm loving it how it's so succinct. Chris, my friend, I heard that you are managing a golf course. Where's that, and how can folks play there?
Yeah, it's down in Mayaca City, Florida, just east of Sarasota. It is a private club, so if you got a good amount of money to join as a member, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, get the hell out of here.
Love that attitude.
But
yes, sir.
But what I gotta say to finish this up is just stay happy and stay optimistic, guys. You know, it's what we do.
I love it. I love it to pieces. That's why we have you on all the time, Chris, because we need your optimism to cancel out our nihilism. Speaking of optimism, that brings me up to Steve. Steve, what you got? Tell me about the music. What do you have? Do you have any tours, albums? What's up? Where can folks find you? How can they get more of you in their life?
Yeah, I wish they wouldn't find me. In fact,
stop. That mustache deserves to be found, damn it.
Yeah, anyone that needs to reach me, please go through the Quit Chasing podcast contact info. They kind of filter out all my requests.
For sure.
We're happy to help.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Steve, are you doing Queen Anne State Park?
No, I will not be performing there, but perhaps I will be attending.
I will be there.
I'll see you most likely there if you're there for a short amount of time.
I will be. Has the lineup been released? Do you even know that?
I'll talk to you after this podcast.
All right, fair enough. I was trying to give some bands a plug. Jeez.
Yeah. Bands are great. Go see shows in Philadelphia and buy their merch.
All right, that works. Hey, everyone, that was fun. Thanks to all our guests. Thank you, listeners. We'll do better next week, I promise. And I'm going to end this one straight tonight, Alex. Everyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant.